Welcome back to the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network as we get ready for game number 2 of this doubleheader between the visiting Valley City State University Vikings and the home team, the Bellevue University Bruins. If you were with us for game number 1, quite the interesting game. The Bruins coming away with a 20-4 victory over the Vikings. It was a 3-3 contest into the bottom of the 5th inning. The Bruins scored 14 runs in that inning and then 3 more in the 6th. Their final at-bats to come away with 20 runs on 13 hits, taking advantage of 11 walks and a couple of hit by pitches as well to get that victory. The Bellevue Bruins are now 24-3 overall on a 12-game winning streak, 5-0 in Frontier Conference play. For the Valley City State Vikings, they are now 14-12 overall and 1-4 in conference play. Here's the lineups for game number 2. First of all, for the visiting Vikings. Leading off and playing shortstop is Hunter Logan. Batting second and playing second is Cody Wielgosh. The 3-hole hitter is the first baseman, Alex Velasco. The cleanup hitter is the catcher, Nick Sen. Batting fifth, the left fielder, Caden Rosdeba. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, Anthony Madsen. Batting seventh and playing right field is Brady Papineau. Batting eighth, the third baseman, Devin Minnie. And batting ninth and playing center field is Diesel Goya. On the mound for game number 2 for the Vikings is right-hander Takeo Cookson. As you can see from your video screen, the Bruins are taking the field defensively. Let's give you the starting Bellevue batting order behind starting pitcher, right-hander Reed Madariaga. Batting first for the Bruins and playing second base will be Nick Gravel. Batting second, the third baseman is Oak Held. The 3-hole hitter is the first baseman, Carter Clairhout. The cleanup hitter, left fielder, Aiden Macaris. Batting fifth and catching is Dylan Holmes, the designated hitter. And batting sixth is Xavier Lerma. Batting seventh and playing shortstop is Mason Spellacy. Hitting eighth, the right fielder, Anthony Lynn. And batting ninth, center fielder, Jalen Ruffin. On the mound for the Bellevue Bruins, right-hander Reed Madariaga, the Hawaii native. This will be his third appearance on the season, a 1-0 record, a 3.18 earned run average. We'll talk a little bit more about Reed as we get underway with this game. First pitch for game number 2 is upon us. Leading it off for the Valley City State Vikings, the shortstop, Hunter Logan. First pitch from Reed Madariaga. Breaking ball misses outside. Reed on the season has thrown 11 1/3 innings. In that time, he has struck out 12 and walked 5. Has given up 14 hits. Opponents are batting .311 on the season against him as he falls behind. 2-0 in the count to Hunter Logan. Fastball, good pop on that. Swing and a miss, strike one called. Hunter Logan, as we mentioned in game number 1, the leading hitter for Valley City, .361 on the year, 30 hits and 27 runs batted in. Now 2-2 count as Madariaga comes back with a couple of fastball strikes to even the count. Breaking ball just misses outside, a good temptation pitch. But out of the zone, the count runs full on the leadoff guy for the Vikings. Swing and a miss. The fastball's the effective pitch in that at-bat for Reed Madariaga, striking out Hunter Logan. Second hole hitter for the Vikings is the second baseman, Wielgosh. Wielgosh, the second leading hitter on the season as well, .337. 21 runs scored is tops on the Viking squad. Reed Madariaga working quickly on the mound. First pitch upstairs, ball 1. Working from the third base side of the rubber, begins his windup. That pitch on the outside edge, strike called. Bellevue, the number 4 rated team in the NAIA, according to the latest coaches poll. Down low, 2-2. And in the current ARC ratings for the Western region, the Bellevue Bruins are rated number 1 two other Frontier Conference teams part of those ratings, as that one's skewed off the top of the bat foul. Mayville State is currently number 10 in the West regions, and Valley City State, number 12 in those ratings. The first time ever Valley City has been rated in the ARC ratings. That pitch is upstairs. 3-2 again. Went full count on the first batter, full count again on batter number 2, Cody Wielgosh. Popped up to the left side. Third baseman Oak Held giving chase. Aiden Macaris, the left fielder, lost it in the sun. It was closer to him than anybody, but a double for Cody Wielgosh. Macaris just couldn't find it. Kind of a high sky and the sun shining out that way. Right now the sun, as the day progresses, the right side will become the sun field, but right now it's pretty much straight away, affecting all the outfielders. And again, if you were not with us in game number 1, temperature in the upper 50s with winds blowing with gusts up to 30 miles an hour out towards left field. The 3-hole hitter for the Vikings is the first baseman, Alex Velasco. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Velasco hitting .326. In fact, the first 4 hitters in the Vikings lineup are the top 4 hitters on the season in that order. Down low, 1-1 to count. 1 on, 1 out. We're in the top of the first inning. Again, the Bruins bats came alive with a 14-run 5th inning in game number 1 to go on the winning side, continuing their now 12-game winning streak by a score of 20-4. Madariaga working from the stretch with the runner in scoring position. Foul out of play, right side. So balls hit in the air to the left side are going to get some extra distance today. Balls hit down the right side might carry back into the field of play or in fair territory. Let's see how much that affects game number 2. Foul ball upstairs. Madariaga was not on the rubber when he dropped the baseball, so that's not a balk, even with a runner on second base. We got a text from Reed's dad in game number 1 today. I'm sure he's listening here in game number 2. That one's hit to straightaway center field. Jalen Ruffin with a great catch. Diving on the warning track, going to the wall, makes the play out there. I wonder if the Bruins are going to appeal to second base. The runner there may have left a little bit early. It looks like Jaden getting up kind of slowly, but a highlight reel catch there by Jalen Ruffin for the second out of the inning. Cody Wielgosh advancing to third on the play. The cleanup hitter for Valley City is the catcher, Nick Sen. Sen, .325, the 4th leading hitter coming into today's action for Valley City. Bruins look like they're not going to appeal at second base. Instead, the pitch comes in a little bit low on a breaking ball. Another breaking ball, this one in the zone. 1-1 the count. That one's hit down the right field side, has some carry. Anthony Lind out there now has it tracked, has those sunglasses on and the brim of his cap pulled down. He stays with it to make the play. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left on base after a half. Valley City nothing. And the Bellevue Bruins coming to bat. So a couple of nice plays by Bruin outfielders, especially that one by Jalen Ruffin, to keep the Vikings off the scoreboard in the top of the first inning. Starting pitcher in game number 2 for Valley City State is Takeo Cookson, a 4-2 record that ties him with Connor Martin for the leading number of wins on the season for the Vikings. Cookson 4.95 earned run average. This is his 10th appearance on the season, all but one in a starting capacity. He's thrown 40 innings, has allowed 44 hits, has struck out 39, and walked 14. Opponents are batting .275 on the season against Takeo Cookson. So a battle of right-handers in game number 2. Pretty much the same batting order that we saw in game number 1 for the Bruins. It'll be Gravel, Held, Claerhout, Macarus, Holmes, Lerma, Spellacy, Lind, and Ruffin. The 9 guys to step to the plate. The only difference is that Dylan Holmes will be the catcher in game number 2, and Xavier Lerma will be the DH. They switched roles in game number 1. Takeo Cookson, a junior from Regina, Saskatchewan. Leading it off for the Bellevue Bruins, another Canadian from the opposite end of the country, Nick Gravel, the Bellevue shortstop from Nova Scotia. First pitch from Cookson is a called strike 1. Nick hitting .424 coming into today's action. Changeup hit right back up the box. So Nick Gravel gets things started on the right foot for the Bellevue Bruins in game number 2 with a solid single to center. Gravel was held hitless in game number 1. He walked a couple of times and had a sacrifice fly and a run batted in. Here's Bellevue third baseman Oak Held. And again, let me give you that text message number. If you want to be part of our broadcast today, I invite you to send along a text to me. I'll give you that number here after this pitch. Foul up the third base side. 402 515 7654. Mick Krupski back behind the microphone once again. Glad you're joining us on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. 402 515 7654. One strike to count on Oak Held. That pitch upstairs, 1-1. Bright, sunshiny day. Again, the wind is the only deficit today. Swing and a miss. Cookson took something off that pitch. Got held ahead on the swing. Cookson checks the wristband for the signal coming from the bench. That was hammered down the left field line, but foul. Held ahead of the count. Head with the head of the bat that time. Brandon Moore, Joe Cassidy, and T. Smith, our three-man umpiring crew. You'll see a three-man umpiring crew for Frontier Conference games. Usually a two-man crew for those midweek non-conference games. Inside and low. 2-2 the count on the two-hole hitter, Elk Held. Oak, a native of Washington State. Throw over to first base. Gravel back easily. Gravel, the team leader in stolen bases. 8 bags on the season for Nick. So he's always a threat to run. Held, a good contact man. There he goes. Fouled at the plate. Gravel will have to retrace his steps to first. Had a good jump. Home plate umpire T. Smith circles his finger. That's to start the pitch count. Fouled out of play once again. Oop. Karam's back off the net behind home plate. Just the third ever game played at the new facility, named in honor of the Renner and Dennis families, supporters of Bellevue University and Bellevue Athletics. Again, a throw over. Paying a lot of attention to Gravel, especially after he got that good jump on what could have been a stolen base earlier in this at-bat for Held. Breaking ball just misses top of the zone. So the count goes full. Expect Gravel to be in motion on this pitch if he can get a good jump. Full count, nobody out. My scorebook for game number one today looks real ugly. There were substitutions for just about every one of the original starting lineup. Fouled out of play once again. Karam's back onto the field of play. Alex DeMaria, the head coach for Valley City. Dwayne Monlix, the head coach for the Bellevue Bruins. Alec in his third year, Dwayne in his 16th, heading their respective programs. Another throw back to first base. Takeo Cookson versus Reed Madariaga. The pitching matchup in this one. Gravel goes, swings and misses on the pitch in the dirt. And now Alec DeMaria coming out of the dugout wanting an interference call on the play. He's making all kinds of motions and signaling, and they say, yes, now it's going to be batter's interference against Oak Held. So Held is out on the strikeout, and Nick Gravel is also out because of the batter's interference. So a double play, a weird way, but a double play nonetheless. Now 2 out. Base is empty for first baseman Carter Clairhout. On the swing, Held went after that breaking ball, and his body went right in front of the catcher, Nick Sen. He was not able to make a throw, and that was the ruling there on the interference. First pitch to Clairhout on the inside corner, strike one called. Carter at 408 on the year. Now 10 home runs and 28 runs batted in after going yard in game number one. That one skewed up the middle, a diving stop by the second baseman. The throw will not nearly be in time. So an infield single for Carter Clairhout. That'll knock his average up a few ticks more. And bring to the plate the Bruin cleanup hitter, left fielder Aiden Macaris.
Now back to left fielder, number 22, Aiden Macaris.
Macaris 358, 9 home runs, and a team-leading 35 runs batted in. So working from the stretch again. Breaking ball into the zone, strike one called. Fastball up the middle, deflected off the second baseman's glove. Clairhout on his way to third. Good base running by Carter. As Aiden Macaris will get an infield single. Actually, the deflection off the glove of second baseman Cody Wilgosh worked to the Bruins' advantage. Now 2 runners on at the corners for the Bruins and catcher Dylan Holmes.
Now batting the catcher, number 16, Dylan Holmes.
Holmes was the DH in game number 1. Comes into today's action hitting .346. Holmes had a double and 3 walks in game number 1. Takes a called strike 1. Bruins got a lot of production out of the DH and catcher position. 7 runs batted in between those 2 spots in game 1. Opportunity here for the Bruins to get on the scoreboard first once again. Cookson delivers. Pop foul. Will it stay out of play? Yes, it does. Wind has died down maybe just a little bit than what it was in game number 1. Throw over to first base. Cookson's paid a lot of attention to Bellevue base runners on at first base already in this first inning. Bruins with 3 hits on the inning, but no runs as of yet. This game number 2, a 9-inning contest. Change up, swing and a miss, and the tag applied at home plate. And the side is retired. So that weird double play hurt the Bruins' cause early in the inning. No runs on 3 hits. There were no errors. And 2 men left on base. 1 inning in the books. We're still scoreless. Valley City Vikings and the Bellevue Bruins. Restart phone. Reed Madariaga back to the mound for the Bellevue Bruins. Reed hails from Mililani, Hawaii. Bruins with a couple of guys from Hawaii on the baseball squad, a couple of Hawaiians on the volleyball squad as well. Mila and Leah Iwohi, twin sisters. 3 years with the Bellevue volleyball squad, part of that national runner-up team from 2 years ago. Hey, Tyler. Good. Hi, little Tyler. A little different. Yeah, a little different setup here. No, headphones are. All right, here we go at the top of the second inning. Left fielder Caden Rosdeba will lead things off. First pitch from Madariaga on the outside, black for a called strike 1. Rosdeba, .250 hitter on the season. 1-1 as that sweeper misses away. Rosdeba had a single in game number 1. Another sweeper. That one clips the outside corner. 1-2 the count. Fastball, strike 3 count. Second strikeout of the game for Madariaga. That one, good pop. We have a jugs gun anywhere? Can't see it. All right. Next batter for the Vikings, designated hitter Anthony Madsen. First pitch just off the outside edge. Madsen was the DH as well in game number 1, had a double in his at-bats, falls behind in the count, or excuse me, 1-1 the count now. Again, good sideways movement on that fastball, or that curveball, from Madariaga. The heater that time fouled straight back. Now 1-2. Another breaking ball. That one just misses outside. 2-2. Coming to you from the brand new Renner Dennis Outdoor Athletic Complex, Bellevue University, home of Bellevue baseball, softball, and soccer. Again, just off the outside edge on the sweeper. Soccer started playing here last fall. Baseball and softball just about a week and a half ago. And that pitch just low. Madsen will draw the walk. First walk issued by Reed. That'll bring to the plate right fielder Brady Papineau. Papineau, 247 on the year. Papineau had a single in game number 1. Only 5 hits in game 1 for Valley City. They were shut down by Kenji Miller. Valley City fought back to a 3-3 tie, and then it was all Bellevue from there. The Bruins plated 17 runs, including 14 in the bottom of the 5th inning. That was an incredible inning. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Papineau hails from Great Falls, Manitoba. A healthy amount of Canadian players on both these teams. Chases the high fastball. And the strikeout, the second of the inning, the third of the game for Reed Madariaga. Kenji Miller had 10 Ks in game number 1. He went 6 innings to get the victory. Here's the third baseman, Devin Minnie. Breaking ball, outside corner, strike called. In that order, in that sequence. Minnie hitting at 200 on the year. Foul tipped into the glove of catcher Dylan Holmes. Swing and a miss. Minnie is dispatched quickly. A 3-strikeout inning for Reed Madariaga. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left after the walk. As we head to the bottom of the second, we're still looking for our first run of game number 2. Again, I want to remind you that tomorrow we'll have the second day of doubleheader action from the Renner Dennis Outdoor Athletic Complex. 12 o'clock start for tomorrow's doubleheader. All right, my phone was acting up. I apologize. Wasn't able to get to the text queue. Now I can. Mike Madariaga is here for game number 2. I'd rather be watching the game live, though. The weather looks great there. Well, it's kind of deceptive. It's a beautiful sunny day, temperature right around 60 degrees. But as I've mentioned a couple of times, we've got that strong wind out of the south that's pushing balls out towards left field. Reed off to a great start with 4 strikeouts in 2 innings. Let's go Vikings, number 21, a heart emoji from Jenna, Hunter Logan's fiancée. Congratulations. One more quickly here. We'll get to that next inning. Here we go at the bottom of the second inning. Xavier Lerma, designated hitter for the Bruins in game number 2. Xavier had a 2-run home run in that game number 1 route. Comes up empty on that swing on the first pitch from Takeo Cookson. Lerma hitting .382. Popped over the backstop and out of play. Synthetic field, turf field for all three of the new fields here at the complex. Fouled out of the catcher's mitt. Lerma stays alive at 0-2. 325 feet down the right and left field lines. 372 to the power alleys and 390 to straightaway center field. A little bit bigger ballpark than the Bruins' previous home at John Stella Field at Brown Park, South Omaha. Down low, 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Lerma, leading off the bottom of the second inning. Bellevue now 24-3 on the year. Swing and a miss. The tag applied. And the first out of the inning is the third strikeout of the game for Takeo Cookson. Well, both pitchers bringing out the strikeout pitches this afternoon. 4 strikeouts for Madariaga, 3 thus far for Cookson. Here's shortstop Mason Spellacy. Spellacy, .299 average coming into today's action. First pitch, foul out of play. Spellacy still below the 300 mark as he went hitless in game number 1. Check swing, foul ball. It's kind of a strange game. The Bruins scored 20 runs in that game on only 13 hits. They took advantage of 11 walks, 2 hit batters, and 3 errors. Line hard down the third base line. That's fair territory. Spellacy on his way to first, on his way to second. And that's where he will stop with a stand-up double just inside the third base bag. Spellacy got the head of the bat through that one very quickly. He's in scoring position, and the batter is right fielder Anthony Lind. The Gravel family listening in from Fall River, Nova Scotia says, "Go Bruins." Terry and Greg, Nick's mom and dad. 3 brothers, Jesse and Josh, also watching, and Jake is watching in Montreal. That one's hit out into center field, right center field. Now the right fielder will take charge and make the catch and get it in. So Anthony Lind retired by Brady Papineau for the second out of the inning. One right fielder taking care of the other in that at-bat. So the guy who's swung the hottest bat for the Bruins this afternoon, Jalen Ruffin, the 9-hole hitter, was 4 for 4 in game number 1, including a 2-run home run, 4 runs batted in on the day. He was a triple shy of the cycle. 2 singles, a double, and a home run. First pitch, swings and misses. Ruffin came in hitting .324. That average will go up considerably with that 4 for 4 game 1. Tries to check his swing on that, but couldn't. He's behind 0-2. Here's the 0-2, and that hits Jalen on the backside. A glancing blow, so he'll trot down to first base on the hit by pitch. That puts Bellevue runners at first and second and 2 away for the top of the order. The Gravel family listening in. Here's Nick. Opportunity to put the Bruins on the board. Hit me with that again. Thank you. Bill informs me that Jalen Ruffin's batting average now .361. Gone up about 40 points in the 4 for 4 game. Here's Gravel. Line drive up the middle. Runner given the green light at third. Dwayne Monlux waving Spellacy around. The throw will not come to home. It'll be cut out. And Nick Gravel delivers the first run of the day for the Bruins. The RBI single plating Mason Spellacy. Ruffin stops at second on the play. So nice job of hitting it right back where it came from. Oak held the next Bellevue batter. A strikeout victim his first time up. Slider blocked up by the catcher, Nick Sen. The set at the belt. Actually, more the belly button. We'll go with belly button. The pitch low and in. Cookson gets the signal from the bench while he's not on the rubber. There you see him looking at the watch on his left wrist. Then he steps on. Change up in the zone. Good movement down and in towards Oak held. Bruins 1 run on 5 hits. Chopper down to third. Foul ball, just in foul territory. Good for the Bruins because that would have been an easy unassisted play there at third base for Devin Minnie had it been fair. Held back to the plate. Gets an assist there from teammate Carter Clairhout, who delivers the bat to him. Again, a gust of wind blows through the ballpark. Good lead at second. And a strike 3 called. Another changeup just hit the bottom of the zone for the strikeout to retire the side. Bellevue picks up 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 more left on base. The Bruins have left a pair on in both the first and the second. Dwayne Monlux. Some words with home plate umpire after that last call. Dwayne thought it was low. And now the umpire telling him head back to the bench. Got to get a word in. 1-0. Bellevue Bruins on top as we head to the top of the third inning. All right, again, we've got some texts in the queue. If you'd like to join us, that text message number is 402-515-7654. Shout out to the best defensive center field in the country, my nephew, Jalen Ruffin. Have a day, kid. We're all watching you out here in Staten Island, New York, from his uncle, Jason Juergens. Jason, glad you're with us. Yeah, it's been a great day for Jalen, both at the plate and in the field. Continuing into game number 2 as well. The Logans are checking in from Southern California. Let's go Vikings. That must be the family of Hunter Logan, the Viking shortstop. And one more. What's up, Bruin Stream? It's Jose Villagomez, ex-Bellevue pitcher. How cold is it? Jose. Thanks, Jose. It's a little chilly, but not terrible for the end of March. Temperature around 60 degrees. The most significant thing today, though, is that breeze. Here's Diesel Goya to lead off the top of the third inning, trying to bunt his way on off the mound and making the play. Reed Madariaga handles Goya for the first out of the inning. Back to the top of the order for the Vikings. This will be the second time through, facing Reed. Shortstop Hunter Logan at the plate. A strikeout victim his first time up. Had a double in 4 plate appearances in game number 1 today. Fouled away at the plate. 0-2 on Logan. Logan leads all those offensive categories for Valley City. Tops in average, tops in hits, tops in runs batted in. That's leading runs batted in at the top of the order. I'm not sure, maybe he was down in the order a little bit earlier in the season. Stays alive and fouls that one out of play. The Bellevue Bruins rated number 4 in the nation in the NAIA Go Route Baseball Coaches Top 25. That's a mouthful to say. Fouled straight back. Count remains 0-2. Louisiana State Shreveport, Georgia Gwinnett, and Taylor of Indiana, the top 3 teams ahead of the Bruins. Just off the outside edge. Then comes Johnson of Tennessee, Cumberlands of Kentucky, Lewis and Clark State of Idaho, Missouri Baptist, Tennessee Wesleyan, and Southeastern of Florida wrapping up the top 10. Another breaking ball. Logan lays off that, 2-2. Swing and a miss, chasing the high fastball, and Madariaga picks up his 5th strikeout of the game. 1 in the first, 1 in the third, and 3 in the second. Second baseman Cody Wheelgosh doubled his first time up opposite way. On the knees, a called strike 1. Upstairs, 1-1. Madariaga working quickly. Infielders, outfielders, they love that. A pitcher who gets the ball, gets the sign, and delivers it home. Upstairs, 2-1. You don't have time to lose interest. You can stay focused, stay concentrating on the game behind a pitcher who does that. 3-1. Last couple of pitches have all been upstairs, eye high. Wheelgosh with the advantage, 3-1 count. Fastball right down the heart. Wheelgosh tardy on the swing. Count goes full. Wheelgosh from Beausejour, Manitoba, or something that sounds kind of like that. Swing and a miss, the changeup, breaking down and away. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the top of the third inning. 3 up, 3 down inning. Bellevue maintains their 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the third inning. We've seen caps fly off of heads all day long with the wind. Madariaga has that happen to him as he records his strikeout as well. Game number 2 of the doubleheader, a 9-inning game. The 10-run rule, mercy rule, will come into effect after 7 innings, should that be applicable. Takeo Cookson back to the hill. He'll be looking at the middle part of the Bellevue order. Carter Clairhout, and Aiden Macaris, and Dylan Holmes. 3, 4, 5 part of the order for the Bruins.
Leading off for the Bruins is the first baseman, number 23, Carter Clairhout.
the new addition to the Bellevue program this year. A very good addition for the Bellevue program this year. First pitch swinging, hit well to right center field. It's going to carry out of here. Carter Clairhout, his second home run of the day. The first one went to center field, this one to right field as he circles the bases. For Clairhout, 11 home runs on the year and 29 runs batted in. That one got out of here in a hurry. It sounded a little funny coming off the bat, like he didn't quite get all of it, but all of it Matt got. 2-0 our score as left fielder Aiden Macaris steps in. Strike one called at that upper outer quadrant of the strike zone. Macaris waits on the breaking ball, chops it foul, now behind in the count 0-2. Just off the outside edge as Cookson trying to go for the 3-pitch strikeout. Macaris back in. Second year in the program for Aiden. Changeup misses low and in. 2-2. Last pitch just off the outside edge. Last pitch just off the inside edge. Where's this one going to go? On the outside, Black for the call. Strike 3. Kind of one of those 50-50 pitches right on or outside that black edge of the plate. So the strikeout is the first out of the inning. Here's catcher Dylan Holmes, the strikeout victim, his first time up. So now 5 strikeouts for Takeo Cookson. We didn't see a ton of strikeouts in game number 1. Again, that same spot on the outside edge called strike 1. Oh, excuse me. Correct myself. 10 for Kenji Miller, but Bruin batters didn't strike out very much is what I meant to say. Down low, 1-1. Inside, 2-1. Dylan from Libertyville, Illinois. Don't recall a lot of Illinois players in the Bruin lineup over the years. He started his college career at Oakton College. Takes that pitch down. Now 3-1. Bill says Brandon Sparks was a Bellevue, Illinois native from back in the day. Foul on the play, full count on Holmes. Nolan Walter, also a Bellevue catcher, in on that game number 1. He went yard as that base hit through the hole for Dylan Holmes. He'll trot down to first base as we look to the dugout to see who's going to come on in a courtesy run.
Courtesy running for the Bruins at first base, number 41, Jackson Polk.
Jackson Polk will get the courtesy running duties today.
Designated hitter, number 12, Xavier Lerma.
Designated hitter Xavier Lerma steps in. He struck out his first time up. 1 on, 1 out, 1 in this bottom of the 3rd inning. At the top of the zone, strike 1 called. Valley City State, Valley City, North Dakota. About a 7 or 8 hour bus ride from the Omaha Bellevue area. Runner goes, hit and run. Ball hit well to the right side. Right fielder going back to the track, looking up, and it is gone. A 2-run home run by Xavier Lerma. The Bruins up 4-0. So Jackson will touch home plate. And now Xavier Lerma rounds third, heading for home. And he'll stop on the plate. 2 more runs batted in for Xavier. So the second home run of the day, 1 in each game for Xavier Lerma, just like for Carter Clairhout. Here's shortstop Mason Spellacy. Changeup down low. Xavier now with 9 home runs on the year. Bruins with 3 guys with 9 or more home runs. A little skew shot off the tip of the bat. Second baseman trying to make the play, but he cannot. That'll be ruled an infield single. Cody Wilgosh got over to the area, but a tough play as he was sliding and trying to handle the ball with all that spin. So Spellacy, the runner at first, with his second hit of this game. A double of the second, now a single in the third. And the batter will be right fielder Anthony Lind. But first, a visit from one of the coaches for Valley City. Alec DeMaria in his third year at the helm of the program. T.J. Hokinson, Cameron Pitts, Jay Mendez, and Deegan Morcom are his assistant coaches. First mound visit of the day. The Bellevue Bruins have dominated in this series. These 2 schools, part of the old North Star Athletic Association. Bellevue leads the all-time series, 32 wins against only 2 losses, and the Bruins have now won 22 straight games since 2019. Last year when these 2 teams met at Brown Park, the Bruins with a 4-game sweep, 6-5 in game number 1, and then 10-0, 11-2, and 14-10 in the finale. Here's Anthony Lind. Four runs on 9 hits for the Bruins. Spellacy goes on the hit and run, hit in the air to the right side. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Spellacy will have to hold at second base, however. Right fielder Brady Papineau came on, but he couldn't get there in time. So Anthony Lind with the base hit. The Bruins continue to put pressure on the Vikings. 2 on, 1 out for Jalen Ruffin. Still perfect on the day. 4 for 4 in game number 1. Reached on a hit by pitch in game number 2. And again, hello to all of his family listening in Staten Island, New York. Fastball upstairs. Bruins are seeing the top 2 pitchers for Valley City State in today's doubleheader, both Takeo Cookson and Connor Martin, who got the start in game number 1 with 4 wins. 4 wins and 2 losses, identical records on the year. There's a fastball located on the outer half for the strike called, 1-1 on Jalen. All 3 of the North Platte trio in action today for the Bruins. Swing and a miss on that changeup. Jalen Ruffin, Derek Kuhlman, and Jackson, all 3 of them from North Platte, seeing action today. Cookson comes set at the belly button. That changeup down low. That's been a pretty good pitch for Cookson today. Try to keep the Bruin batters off stride. Again, the changeup, a half swing by Jalen. He stays alive as that goes in front of the third base dugout. Seven-inning game number one took about 3 hours to conclude. We're moving along a little bit better pace in game number two. We're in the bottom of the third inning. And again, a hit by pitch as Jalen holds his ground in that batter's box. Oh, he's been up 6 times and been on base all 6 times today. Bruins swing it back to the top of the order. Nick Gravel steps in. Gravel up for 2 in game number 2. His old school walk-up song there. The Joker by the Steve Miller Band. That's my era. Ball one on the first pitch from Cookson. Opposite field toward the line. That's going to drop for a base hit. 1 run is in. Now my voice is going, and there we go. 2 runs. Opposite field hit by Nick Gravel. He's perfect. 3 for 3 today as Lind and Ruffin score ahead of him. Or excuse me, Spellacy and Lind score on the play. Oh, Jalen Ruffin has to stop at second. But Nick Gravel, 3 runs batted in on the game. 1 last time up, 2 more there. The Bruins open up a 6-0 lead with a 5 spot in the bottom of the third. Cookson delivers. That one's chopped foul pass. Coach Dwayne Tomlix in the third base coaching side. Coach third baseman Devin Minnie share a laugh. Back to the action, 0-1. Held the 9th batter of the inning. Throw to second base, not nearly in time. Kind of a strange approach off the rubber. Looked like Cookson was going to throw to third, but it's unoccupied. But then stepped towards second and through there. Strike call, fastball down the middle. 0-2 on Held. Struck out swinging, struck out looking. Trying to avoid a similar fate this time at the plate. Chopped on the ground into the hole. Here comes Ruffin around third. He's heading for home. The throw will be cut off. The relay will go to third base. And the out will be recorded there. But Jalen Ruffin coming around to score the 6th run of the inning. An RBI single for Oak Hill. He'll advance to second on the throw as Nick Gravel is thrown out on the 7-5-6 play. And so Carter Clairhout, who started off this inning with a home run, he's up again. Clairhout, 2 for 2. The first offering from Cookson. Cookson's thrown a lot of pitches in this inning. Upstairs, 2-0. Clairhout awaits. Clairhout jolts another one, but that's going to be a foul ball, just about 5 feet to the right of the foul pole down the right field line off halfway up the fence. Red Deer, Alberta, Canada grows some big guys. Clairhout, 6'1", 240. Heath Hatchkowski, also from Red Deer, 6'5", 250. Change up, misses away. 7 runs on 12 hits thus far for the Bruins. No runs on 1 hit thus far for the Vikings. Chases a pitch out of the zone. Count goes full. Oak held the runner at second base. 2 outs in the inning. Little nubber off the end of the bat. That's going to squeak into left field. Here comes Held rounded third base. And he will go home without a throw. Carter Clairhout with his 3rd hit of the game. His second run batted in. As the Bruins continue to add on, now 8-0. 7 runs coming in this inning. Bruins have a way to go, though, to tie what they did in game number 1. They scored 14 runs in the bottom of the 5th in that one. Halfway there here with 7. And Macaris to the plate. Single and a strikeout for Aiden in this one. Swing and a miss. Again, that changeup from Cookson's been a pretty effective pitch for him. Outside corner. 0-2. Throw over to first base. Kind of a half-hearted throw, a half-hearted dive back to the base by Carter. I'm stunned we have not seen any airplanes coming in today. In our previous baseball and softball broadcast, we've seen almost 10 planes per game. That pitch is high. Clairhout, second base. He's got in for another stolen base. 6 stolen bases for Carter on the season. He's only been thrown out once. Yep, had 1, so 7 on the season. Still only been thrown out once. Macaris, a swing and a miss. The strikeout retires the side. The Bruins pick up 7 runs. 8 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Through 3 complete innings of play, the Bellevue Bruins 8, the Valley City State Vikings nothing. Well, the Vikings have some work to do on offense if they're going to try to stay with the Bruins in this one. 8 runs on 13 hits, no errors for Bellevue. No runs on 1 hit, no errors for Valley City. Reed Madariaga back to the mound for the Bruins. A senior, 5'8", 170 pounds, so not a big guy. But he's been very effective this afternoon against the Vikings. Reed, as they say, has sampled many uniforms over his career. He's played college ball at Seattle University, Columbia University out of Tennessee, and Pierce College in Washington. He gets ready to face the Vikings in the top of the fourth inning. First man he will face is three-hole hitter Alex Velasco, the first baseman. First pitch in the zone, strike one. Reed working ahead. Strike two. Lined the opposite way, but it's going to hook foul. Bellevue has 3 more games after this one in the month of March. Another doubleheader tomorrow against Valley City. And then on the 31st against York University, they'll appeal space. Yes, he did go around on the swing. The strikeout as Madariaga continues to rack up the Ks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nick Sen, the catcher, steps in. He flew out to right field last time up. Missing inside, ball one. Slider that time, swing and a miss. Hit in the air to center field. That sends Jalen Ruffin back, and he'll run out of room as Nick Sen turns that one around for a solo home run for Valley City. And the Vikings get on the board in the top of the fourth inning. Nick Sen with a solo home run. For Sen, that is his third home run of the year. And now 13 runs batted in. Next up, the 5-hole hitter, left fielder, Caden Rosdeba. Madariaga starts him off with a breaking ball in the zone. That home run by Sen banged off the hitting background out there in center field. Another curveball this time. 0-2. And did he hold up? Oh, they say he did. So 1-2 the count and the appeal to the first base umpire. Bruins will have a 3-man umpiring crew for all their conference games this year. Usually we'll just have a 2-man crew for non-conference games. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Caden Rosdeba caught looking for the second out of the inning. Strikeouts bookend the solo home run by Nick Sen. The batter will be the designated hitter, Anthony Madsen. Cap flies out as the pitch comes home. Breaking ball misses away. Madsen from Ellsworth, Wisconsin. Lined hard up the third base side, off the face of the dugout. One of the nice things about this new facility, the dugouts and the home plate backstop are further away from home plate. Yeah, John Stella Field at Brown Park, they were much closer to home plate, which created some dangerous situations for the dugouts and a quick carom off the backstop towards home. Fastball up and away. 3-1 the count. Popped up to center field. Jalen Ruffin moving to his right-hand side. Gets underneath it and makes the catch. 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and nobody left on base. The 1 run, the solo home run by Nick Sen. After 3.5, it's the Bruins 8 and Valley City State 1. Head coach Alec DeMaria coming out to talk to the home plate umpire. T. Smith. It looks like we have a pitching change for Valley City. The new pitcher is number 3, Jackson Penner. So starter Takeo Cookson is done for the day as Jackson Penner comes on in relief.
The pitch for Valley City, number 3, Jackson Penner.
For Penner, this is his 5th appearance on the season, a no-win, one-loss record at 13.50 earned run average. Penner has worked 4 2/3 innings on the season, has allowed 7 runs, all of them earned on 7 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 4 walks. Jackson Penner, the new pitcher for Valley City. Seven part of the lineup to start it off in the bottom of the 4th inning for the Bruins.
Now batting the catcher, number 16, Dylan Holmes.
Catcher Dylan Holmes, the first man to face Jackson Penner. The Bruins The Bruins really tore into the Vikings bullpen in game number 1. After starter Connor Martin was taken out of the game, 4 more pitchers came to the hill, but none of them very effective as the Bruins put up 17 runs over the final couple of innings. 2-0 the count on Dylan Holmes. Holmes singled and scored his last time up. Chopper and through. Dylan Holmes, his second hit of the game. He'll round first base and then head back there. Jackson Polk was the courtesy runner the first time. Jackson Polk will be the courtesy runner the second time.
Courtesy running for the Bruins at first base, number 41, Jackson Polk.
Here's the DH, Xavier Lerma. Xavier, the big 2-run home run his last time up. That gives him 9 on the year. Fouled up the right side. Will the wind blow it back? It does, and it blows it back into fair territory. Lerma was standing at the plate. So that'll be ruled a fielder's choice, as Jackson thought that was going to be foul as well. It landed about 2 feet inside the foul line. So Polk is retired at second. Lerma reaches on the fielder's choice and gives way to Mason Spellacy, the shortstop, at the plate. Down low, ball 1. Spellacy a double his first time up, a single his second at-bat. Has scored both of those times. Right side popped up in the air. Might be a tough play. Nope, second baseman settling underneath it. Cody Wilcox with that wind-affected play. Second out of the inning. That'll bring to the plate right fielder Anthony Lind. Lind singled as part of that third inning uprising and scored.
I'm just trying to
First pitch is up and in. Anthony awaits the next pitch. Instead, throw over to first base. Anthony Lynn liked playing at John Stella Field at Brown Park. That was where he played a lot of high school games when he was with Omaha Central. That one's hit to third. Gloved over there. Throw across the diamond. One hop, scoop up. Third baseman Devin Minnie on the play. Also first baseman Alexis Velasco on the pick to retire the side 5-3. No runs on one hit. There were no errors and one man left on base. 4 innings complete. The Bruins 8 and the Vikings 1. One more text in the queue, but it's from my wife. You don't want to hear that one. Not sure I do. Nope, sorry. One last time, we'll give out that text message number if you want to send along your greetings this afternoon. 402-515-7654. Right down there, pick through any of those. Here we go with the top of the 5th inning. Bruins up by 7 runs. It'll be right fielder Brady Papano to lead things off. Breaking ball in the strike zone. The first pitch from Reed Madariaga. He'd like to have one pitch back. That was a solo home run last inning. Otherwise, he's set these Vikings down in order. Fastball in the zone now 0-2 on Papano. Strikeout victim his first time up today. Little flare down the right side. Carter Clarehout trying to find it. Battling the sun, battling the wind. It drops in foul territory. Papano stays alive, leading off this top of the 5th inning. Doubleheader tomorrow starts at 12 noon Central Time. Fouled out of play. Good pitch behind the plate by Holmes as that pitch bounces in the opposite batter's box. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. A little bit low, 2-2. On this new field turf field, all the players are required to wear plastic spikes and wear steel spikes. Chopper on the ground, right side. Nick Gravel gets a glove on it, but then can't find the handle. That'll be an infield single for Brady Papano. Gravel went a long way to his glove hand side, had it momentarily, then tried to get it with the bare hand, but by the time he got control, Papano was already across first base. So for the first time today, second time today, the Vikings get their leadoff guy on. Here's third baseman Devin Minnie. Tried to bunt, go straight up in the air, and it'll land up against the backstop. Trying to bunt his way on for a base hit, trailing by 7 runs. That's not a sacrifice situation. Lays off that pitch. They'll appeal to the first base umpire. No swing. 1-1 the count on Minnie. He struck out his first time up. That one's hit into right center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Runner Papineau around second on his way to third. As the relay comes in, the Vikings have a little something going in the top of the fifth inning with runners on the corners and nobody out. Diesel Goya, the next batter for Valley City. We mentioned earlier, Bellevue's had a lot of Hawaii athletes in the volleyball and baseball programs over the years. Goya hails from Hawaii as well. Kaneohe, Hawaii. Breaking ball in the zone for strike one. Madariaga would love to get a strikeout here and then roll a double play ball to get out of the inning. Ahead in the count. Another breaking ball. That's chopped to second base. Gravel will tag the runner first and throw to first base in time. A nice defensive play by the Bruins second baseman. Papineau does score on the play, but the Bruins will gladly trade one run for 2 outs. So Goya will not get credit for an RBI on that as he hits into a double play. Back to the top of the order for Valley City. Shortstop Hunter Logan. Again, the breaking ball. We've seen fastball, curveball, slider, change from Madariaga. Another breaking ball. That one stays below the zone. 8-2 our score. Single runs in the fourth and the fifth for Valley City. For the Bruins, a single run in the second and then a 7 spot in the third. Outside 2-1. That fastball fouled out of play. Deuces Wild on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 2 runs as well for the Vikings. Breaking ball. Full count on Hunter Logan. Fastball chopped to third. Oak gets that long hop. Steadies himself for the strong arm throw across the diamond. 5-3 on the play, and the side is retired. 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base after 4.5. Bruins 8 and the Vikings 2.
Nobody left on base. After 4.5, the score is now Bellevue 8, Valley City 2.
Bruins scheduled to be on the road next weekend in Frontier Conference play, traveling up to Dickinson, North Dakota to take on Dickinson State University, the alma mater of Bellevue head coach Dwayne Monlix. The forecast is not real good for next weekend, so there may be a change of location for that one, but you never know. More information can always be found at the BUBruins.com website. Leading off the bottom of the fifth inning, Jalen Ruffin. Perfect on the day on getting on base. 6 times up, 6 times on out of the 9-hole. First pitch from Jackson on the knee, strike one call. Jalen gave a quick look to the home plate umpire. Slightly disagreed with that call. And that one hit him on the knee. Over 500 on-base percentage on the year for Ruffin, as he's been on all 7 times today. Alec DeMaria coming out of the dugout to contest that last call. Thought that Jalen may have turned his knee into that one. He gets no satisfaction and heads back to the dugout as the Bruins again get the leadoff man on. Top of the order, here's Nick Gravel. Speaking of perfect, Gravel 3 for 3 in this one. A trio of singles. That's popped up the left field line. Third baseman giving chase. That's Minnie, but he's going to run out of room. It falls just about 2 or 3 feet beyond the fence. Penner comes set at the belt. Throws over to first. Bruins have already had more hits in this game than they had in game number 1 when they scored 20 runs on 13 hits. 8 runs on 14 hits in this one. Ruffin goes. Pitch outside. Throw to second base. Not in time. Jalen Ruffin with another steal. He's in scoring position. Ruffin now with 8 stolen bases. Had one in game number 1 as well. That one's hit well to right field by Gravel. It's carrying to the warning track, and that's where it will die, in the glove of right fielder Brady Papineau. Thought that one had the distance when it got off the bat, but just a few feet short of going over the fence. On the play, Ruffin will tag and advance to third. A long out for Nick Gravel. I think Nick thought he had that one too. Third baseman O'Keld steps in. RBI his last time up. Breaking ball, top of the zone, strike call. On the inside corner, called strike 2. Plastic bag blows out onto the field. Good job of hustling there by Nolan Walter coming out of the dugout to corral that. Beautiful new dugouts here at the field. Breaking ball, low. They have heaters and air conditioning units in them. All the comforts of home at the dugouts here at the new Renner-Dennis Sports Complex. Inside, 2-2. This complex used to be a 6-field Little League complex known as the Hall of Fame Fields. They used to host softball and baseball tournaments here for kids, but in the floods of 2019, it was completely inundated. That one's hit in the air to the right center field area. Both outfielders giving chase again. A catch by Brady Papineau in right field for the out, but it'll be a sacrifice fly for O'Keld. And the Bruins add another number to the scoreboard, now 9-2. So a couple of well-hit balls to the right side. Score the run for the Bruins as Jalen Ruffin crosses the plate. That'll bring to the plate first baseman Carter Clairhout. Way wide on that first pitch as Viking pitchers have become very wary of the bat of Carter Clairhout. 3 for 3 in this one, including a solo home run. Fouled out of play. Carter was 3 for 4 in game number 1, including a home run and a double and 3 runs batted in. So a lot of production from the 3-hole. Breaking ball hit on the ground to second base. Glove there by Wheelgosh, and over to first to retire Carter Clairhout. 1 run on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Again, a run without a benefit of a hit for the Bruins. 9-2 our score as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Reed Madariaga back to the mound for the Bruins. As we start the top of the 6th inning, it'll be the 2-hole in the Vikings order. Second baseman Cody Wheelgosh to lead it off. One for 2 in game number 2 for Wheelgosh. First pitch swinging, foul out of play over the soccer field behind us. Just after 6 o'clock Central Time. Chopped on the ground to Clairhout. Gets a nice big hop. He'll take it himself, stepping on the bag. Unassisted to retire Wheelgosh. 3-hole hitter Alexis Velasco next up for the Vikings. First baseman 0 for 2 today. Last inning was the only inning that Reed Madariaga did not strike out a Viking batter. Has 8 Ks on the game. First pitch, fastball, strike 1 called. Kenji Miller with 10 Ks in game number 1. Reed Madariaga with 8 Ks so far in game number 2. Swing and a miss on a nice breaking ball. Great downward and sweeping away from the right-handed batter movement on that pitch. Fouled straight back, 0-2 the count. Velasco still looking for his first hit of the day. Ooh, just missed up, I guess. Again, really good movement on that pitch from Reed. One and two. That one down low, now 2-2. Hit in the air to left field. Aiden Macaris has a beat on it, adjusts a little bit, and comes on to make the catch for the second out of the inning. Here's the catcher, Nick Sen. He went yard his last time up. Home run to straightaway center field. Scored the first run of the game. Okay, Hudson Ford will get the at-bat here. He came on late to catch for Valley City in game number 1. Ball one on the first pitch. There's a strike called, outer half, 1-1. Another strike called. 1-2. Chopper on the ground, cut off by Madariaga. He'll run it over to first base, toss it to Carter Clairhout. They give each other a friendly shove, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down in the inning. Bellevue 9, Valley City 2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Again, the 10-run rule does come into effect in the second games of the doubleheader after 7 innings of play. Right now, quick math tells you the Bruins are up by 7 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Here's a quick look at the Frontier Conference baseball standings heading into today's action. There are 6 schools that compete in baseball in the Frontier Conference. The Montana schools do not, as of yet, play baseball, so at some point down the road that may happen. Bellevue in first place with a 4-0 record after last weekend's series in Sioux Falls. Dakota State in second place at 3-1. Mayville State in third at 2-2. Then Bismarck State, Dickinson State, and Valley City State all with 1-3 records for the bottom half of the conference. Frontier Conference tournament will be played at Dickinson State this year, May 1st through the 4th. Then the opening round of the NAIA National Tournament will take place May 11th through the 14th at various campus sites across the country. And then the Avista NAIA World Series in Lewiston, Idaho. That'll be May 22nd through the 30th. So a lot of baseball to be played. 3 more games in March, a whole host of games in April, and then tournament competition in May. Leading off for the Bellevue squad, left fielder Aiden Macaris. Aiden 1 for 3, a single and then a couple of strikeouts. Breaking ball from Jackson Penner, strike 1. Next pitch bounces, 1-1. Macaris, a first-team all-conference player last year in his first year as a Bellevue Bruin. Bellevue dominated the conference all-star team honors. Strike called there. Macaris was also the newcomer of the year for the conference last year. Emergency hack to stay alive on that one. Bellevue Bruins projected to be the leading team in the Frontier Conference this year in a vote of the conference coaches. Strike called, outer half. Macaris got fooled on that one. He goes down looking for the first out of the inning. In the coaches' poll, Bellevue was projected to be in first, Dakota State in second, Dickinson State in third, Valley City State in fourth, Mayville State fifth, and newcomer Bismarck State in sixth. Dylan Holmes at the bat. He's 2 for 3, a couple of singles. Bounced all the way back to the screen. Slightly closed stance for Holmes. That pitch up and away, 2-0. Sky high ball hit down the left side. Left fielder giving chase. And he'll run out of room as that one goes yard. And it's a fair ball, a solo home run for Dylan Holmes. He was looking to the home plate umpire for verification that it was still fair. A 3-hit game for Dylan Holmes as he hits another home run, his 7th of the year. Oh, the Bruins. Is that 6 home runs on the day now, Bill? We'll go with 6. Seven home runs and 27 runs batted in for Dylan Holmes. Xavier Lerma steps in, the Bruins DH in this game. He went yard earlier today. Yep, I think so. 6 home runs, 3 in each game. Breaking ball from Jackson, strike called. 1 for 3 for Xavier in this one. Breaking ball low and away. Xavier with a 2-run home run in game number 1. Chop foul, third base line. Karem's back out of the field to play. Here's the 1-2 offering. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for pitcher Jackson Pinter. He's been the most effective reliever on the afternoon for the Vikings.
Now batting the shortstop, number 15, Mason Spellacy.
Shortstop Mason Spellacy steps to the plate. He has a 2-hit game going, a double and a single. Spellacy from Hood River, Oregon. If you're ever in the Columbia River Valley in Oregon, spend a day or two around Hood River, a very scenic spot in the shadow of Mount Hood. Hence the name, duh. Strike called. 1-1. Now 2-1 on Mason. Low and in, 3-1. Bruins need 2 more runs to get to the 10-run rule and then hold the Vikings scoreless in the 7th if that comes to be. Spellacy, a swing and a miss. Full count on the Bruins shortstop. Sky high on the infield, shallow left field. Shortstop going out. Now he's starting to swerve. It's going to drop for a double. Hunter Logan went out to try to make the play, but the wind kept pushing the ball further and further away from him. Left fielder Caden Rosdebut couldn't get there either, so it's a 2-out double by Mason Spellacy. Here's Anthony Lind. Lind 1 for 3 in this one. First pitch upstairs. Anthony, a hit in each game today. Swings and misses that breaking ball from Jackson Penner. Coming back our way, 1-2. Anthony has hit .315 for his career at Bellevue University over the last 4 years. Down low on that one. .263 on this year, so a little bit below what he's done in previous years. A half swing out to left field. It's carrying, and that's going to bounce up against the wall. He only took a half swing, and it one-hops the fence out there. An RBI double for Anthony Lind. If he'd had a full swing, it'd still be going halfway to Omaha. 5 runs batted in on the day for Anthony Lind. Mason Spellacy scoring on the play. Back-to-back doubles for the Bruins. And here's the guy that's been up 7 times and on 7 times for the Bruins, center fielder Jalen Ruffin.
Now batting the center fielder, number 8, Jalen Ruffin.
Bounce to the plate. Lynn thought about going, but a good recovery by catcher Hunter Hudson Ford. Jalen, 2 singles, a double, and a home run in game number 1. Fouls that one off his foot at the batter's box. Hit by pitch, and hit by pitch. Trifecta bruises for Jalen in game number 2. Breaking ball, foul out of play right side. Maybe the wind might blow it back. It does. Keep it in play. First baseman Alexis Velasco over there to grab it to retire the side. The first time today that Jalen has been retired. 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. After 6 complete, the Bruins 11 and the Vikings 2. A 9-run lead for the Bruins as we head to the top of the 7th. Let's see if Reed comes out for the 7th or if his day is done. Yep. Looks like he's coming back out. What's his pitch count, please, Bill? 95 pitches thrown by Reed Madariaga, so he'll have a short leash from this point on. Five, 6, 7 spots in the order. Connor Boyd enters the game for the Bruins at shortstop, replacing Mason Spellacy. Looks like that's the only change right now as we get ready for the top of the 7th inning. It'll be the left fielder, Kenan Rosdaba, to start it off. Oh, thank you. Easton Francis will be the pinch hitter. Chases a high fastball. Don't know if Easton is named in honor of the bat company, but perhaps. Fastball right down the heart of the plate, now 0-2. Ball low, 1-2. Easton Francis, freshman from Tacoma, Washington. Hit out into center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. So kind of a half swing, but an effective swing for Easton Francis as he leads off the top of the 7th inning. Designated hitter Anthony Madsen steps in. Only had one double play in the entirety of today's doubleheader. That happened in the fifth inning. Nick Ravel, the turn on that one. Got an assist and a put out on the play. Bruins looking for another one right here, maybe. Pitch in and low, 2-0. Madsen, a 5'11 junior. There's a pitch again in the zone. Now 2-1. Madariaga over the 100 pitch mark on the day. This will probably be his last inning of work. Again, a strike called, evens it up at 2-2. Big breaking ball, but misses away. Full count on DH Anthony Madsen. Fastball fouled out of play. Up, back into play. Carry him off. This backstop extends further than the one at John Stella Field in Brown Park. Full count offering. Swing and a miss, the strikeout. 9 strikeouts on the day for Reed Madariaga. Here's right fielder Brady Papineau. Papineau 1 for 2. Has scored one of the 2 runs on the game for Valley City. Fastball comes in upstairs. Fastball called strike, 1-1. Another one, 1-2 the count. Reed Madariaga has scattered 5 hits, has struck out 9, has walked only 1. Line drive to second base. Gravel intentionally dropped it. We still don't have an official ruling by the umpire out there. The Bruins are coming off the field. If you intentionally drop it, the play is dead. It'll be a line out. And that's finally the umpire first base finally makes the call. Nobody made a call on anything, but Gravel, the line drive, he caught it, intentionally dropped it, tried to set up the double play. Smart thinking by Nick, but as soon as the line drive was caught, that should have ended the play right there. So Papineau is retired, and third baseman Devin Minnie will step to the plate. Breaking ball misses low and away. Smart try by Nick Ravel. That next pitch, fastball, spins Minnie around. 2-0 the count. Foul out of play, right side. Up. Again, thought for a second maybe it might come back into play, but it stayed foul. Wind has done some crazy things today on pop-ups. Dying down a little bit as we head towards the evening. Not supposed to be nearly as windy tomorrow. Tomorrow's supposed to be a great day in the mid-70s. That one's hit in the air to center field. Ruffin going back now. He stops, and he'll grab it for the out to retire the side. No runs on one hit. There were no errors, and 1 man left on base as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Bruins lead it by 9, 11-2. 1 run for the Bruins in the inning will end it by the 10-run mercy rule. Top of the order for the Bruins as we head to the 7th inning. Otherwise, a 9-inning scheduled contest. 61 degrees currently here in the Bellevue, Omaha area. Tomorrow, the schedule high 77 degrees. A 1% chance of rain. Jackson back to the hill. Penner's done a nice job in relief, plus he's saving the Valley City bullpen for tomorrow's action. Here's Nick Gravel. Three for four on the day is Gravel. Down low, ball one. Down low once again, 2-0. Fly ball to the left side. Three players giving chase. Will anybody get there? Nobody will. Takes the field turf hop. And Gravel will round first and head to second with a lead-off double. He's in scoring position for the Bruins in the bottom of the seventh inning. Again, a ball hit where fielders weren't. The wee Willie Keeler hit them where they aimed. Nick Gravel, not a bad day. 4 hits for Nick at the top of the order. Bruins need 1 run to win by the mercy rule. Here's third baseman Oak Held. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Reed Madariaga has gone the distance for the Bruins today, all 7 innings. Breaking ball down low. Reed came into the day only 11 1/3 innings pitched on the season, so this is his longest outing. Again, a big swing by Held. Held with 2 runs batted in this game, 1 for 3. And a sacrifice fly. Breaking ball down low. Good discipline by Held to hold up. That's line to left field. 1 hopper to the left field, and then it gets past him. And that will be the game as rounding third and heading for home comes Nick Gravel. A hit and an error on the play, and the Bruins will pick up the 10-run rule victory by a final score of 12-2 for the Bellevue Bruins. 12 runs. 12 runs on 18 hits. They committed no errors. 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors for Valley City State. A very solid defensive day for both squads. With the victory, the Bellevue Bruins now move to 25-3 on the season, 6-0 in the Frontier Conference. With the loss, Valley City State drops to 14-13 and 1-5 in conference play. Several Bruins to be saluted. Reed Madariaga gets the 7-inning complete game victory for the Bruins to move to 2-0 on the year. Nick Gravel had 4 hits on 4 5 including 3 runs batted in. Carter Clairhout, another multi-hit game for him. 3 hits, including a home run and 2 runs batted in. A multi-hit game for Dylan Holmes. 3 hits, 3 out of 4, including a home run and a run batted in. Xavier Lerma with the home run. 3 hits for Mason Spellacy, including a pair of doubles and a single. Anthony Lynn had 2 hits and a run batted in. And Jalen Ruffin on base 3 of the 4 times that he was up. 7 out of 8 times on the day. Congratulations to the Bruins for the victory. Their bats were really hot today, sending balls over the fence, and then good play on the base-to-base as well. Head coach Dwayne Monlux and the Bellevue Bruins out in right field having their post-game meeting. We'll see if maybe tomorrow we can get a chance to talk with Coach Monlux, wrapping up the series. Again, game time tomorrow, 12 noon Central Time.